Some went wrong again. What do you know?
It's so we're gonna test something live.
Okay,
Sorry,
right now.
folks.
Yeah, we're doing it live.
Fuck it, do it
Keep
live.
talking.
Fuck it.
Just
Yep.
keep talking.
What can I talk about?
Okay. Well,
On it.
that was all I needed to do.
Oh.
For whatever reason, when I mute Discord or like deafen Discord, it doesn't let me bring anything through audio wise.
Oh, so you can't even play the intro if you deafen Discord?
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
No
we
one
can
would.
figure that out later.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Shut up.
Hello, everyone. Oh my god, this is like the 50th one in a row. Welcome to.
At least we know why.
Right. We should just start.
Do we
should
know
just-
why?
We should just.
Well,
We should just start doing cold opens. This is Nerdentity Crisis, episode 135. I'm your host, Ryan By, joined as always by Mr. Adam Lovar,
Hello, hello.
my literal brother from another mother, Justin Pickavance.
how do you do? That was really poor timing.
That was, finally, Josh, still have not thought of a good nickname for him yet, Huffman.
Yolowski.
How's everybody doing?
Doing all right.
Fantasky.
It has
Ben-
been a
Ben-
minute, boys. It's been a minute since we've recorded a quote-unquote regular episode. So,
Yeah,
I
I
thought
had
you
to
were
look
gonna say a
on.
normal episode. None of these are normal.
Yeah, none of them are normal,
Let's be
yeah.
honest.
Honestly, the more normal one is Death in Space at this point. We've only done
Right?
11 of them.
The last time we recorded a quote-unquote normal episode posted on July 13th. So we're a month. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
whoops.
all right. We'll get.
We did try. We had a
Yeah,
fuck
that's
up.
true. Yeah, we'll be back on a normal schedule. Not next week because Ab and I are both on vacation. But after that, we'll
After
be back.
that.
We'll be back on a normal schedule.
Is that Memorial Day weekend or is that after?
What?
Memorial Day weekend's coming up.
You mean labor?
Sure, that one.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Labor Day. Yeah, same difference.
I get the two mixed up.
One of those days.
The only reason I know is because I work retail. That's the only reason I know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any fucking idea either.
You're like, I wonder which of these days I get inventory.
Yeah.
And the answer is both of them.
All right, so we got a lot to catch up on. I think that we haven't talked about video games in a month. So I'm hoping Josh has played something in the last month. It's been a month, Josh. We're going to you first. What have you been playing?
I have not played a single video game in a month.
No, you played Sons of the Forest with us one time when we were supposed to.
That's
It was
that's
like a
true.
Monday. Yeah.
We did play instead of recording.
And we did stream it on Twitch.
Yeah, follow us on Twitch if you're not already. But I also did like 1 hour of the beta for Palia.
Okay.
I still haven't done that yet.
It was fine. It was fine.
Is that one you can't talk about?
No, I think I can talk about that. I think I just
now
can't.
you can.
I can't share any like screenshots or
Okay.
whatever. But
So just fine.
it seems like a game that would be fun with other people, but Justin was having some issues, and then he goes to bed at like 4 p.m. because he's ancient, and so
Hey.
we
I'm the second youngest one here.
I used to be the old man with the bedtime, but he's got me beat now.
So yeah, I think it'll be enjoyable like with friends and but I only played like an hour and it was like right as the beta was ending, so like nobody was online. So
It's an open beta now though, so anyone can download it and play. One of the things I read though is it's an MMO, but it only allows 12 people in the same instance.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's not really massive, is it?
No.
Maybe they meant minimal.
Minimal multiplayer.
And I mean, you can go between other instances, and I I don't know if you did any of the crafting, but apparently it's got a really good like house. It's supposed to be Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, those type of games, but a more MMO experience. But
Like if you blended WoW with those.
Well,
there's
Harvest
I
Moon
don't think
and
there's
WoW.
any combat.
Oh,
Really?
There's
Yeah,
no caves like that.
I don't know. I think it was one of the things I read was like it has no combat.
Interesting. That might be it. I mean, Tabletop Simulator, of course, and
naturally.
the Gloomhaven app, obviously, but um, that's pretty much it. I can talk about some board games.
You played a lot of tabletop, I'm sure.
Yeah, played quite a bit of tabletop games. Went over to Tyler's place, friend of the podcast.
Frequent
Played
guest host.
hmm played some uh
Blood
Betrayal
Bowl.
in the House on
Oh.
the Hill.
God, I love that
Always a
game.
good one.
It's good. The rulebook still continues to be kind of trash, but it's still a fun game regardless of the ambiguity of said rules. And
When you guys
then
were talking about that a couple episodes ago, it made me want to
Did
play that.
Did you pick your character as Peter Akamoto like I recommended?
No.
no, I was the Flash, and I was Professor. What is his name?
But Peter Akamoto's hobbies are bugs and basketball. I don't know how you could choose anybody else.
The reason I picked the Professor is that he's bald and has a beard, so I can really get into the character.
And
Now,
he
granted, on
won
the other,
on
I
that
did win.
play.
So immersed.
So, and then I picked the Flash and did not do quite so well. But
Marissa
Isn't
was
he?
the
He's
bad guy on that one.
Flash has got good movement, but he's kind of a pussy everywhere else.
so he's got an 8. No, he's got 6 speed initially,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
And his might is like 3, and his sanity and knowledge is like negatives damn near. He is an idiot. But he runs fast.
Right.
The issue was that the haunt that we got, it was actually worse for me if I ran away, and that's just literally his only skill.
Right.
So it was
That was
kind of shitty, but
that one was really rough.
yeah, we got destroyed. But I also played some Guild Ball. Did not actually finish that game because it took us like 3 hours to learn. Granted, we were like watching a video and jumping between the rule book and then trying to figure out all of the options. Since it's like a skirmish game, then you have like a shit ton of options, but knowing which one to do is kind of difficult. And then your characters have different stats and different skills and stuff. So learned enough of the game that I can teach it at least in a base level. So hoping to play some more of that with y'all at some point. And then played a game called Escape from Stalingrad Z, which is
Sounds like a video game I would love to play.
Right.
yeah. I feel like you would. I'll grab it here. I feel like you would enjoy the aesthetic, but it's World War II zombies. You are attempting to escape Stalingrad, and whoop, it's
So
upside down.
is it like Zombicide?
I would say it's a lot quicker and a
Okay.
lot more difficult than
Oh, okay.
Zombicide. Difficult as in to win. Um, you get to like there's no board. There's a book, and when you open the book, then it has the like map like of the session, and then you have to essentially like move around searching for stuff, saving civilians, killing zombies, and then trying to complete some objective to move on. The first 2 sessions were a little rough because we were playing the rules slightly wrong. We were making it significantly harder than it needed to be. But we ended up winning both sessions. But it's pretty fun. They also have Project something. No, Escape from, I don't know, it's a German name. It's another World War II zombie, same rules, same, but just different story and different location. Some German city. But and then they're coming out with a new one that's like Norse Viking themed. And I read through the rule book for that, or what's published of the rule book and it's very, very similar, although some of the things that are a little finicky about this game seem to be slightly easier in the Viking version. So, like, for instance, you have to use movement points to turn your character 90 degrees, and then the direction that you're facing is important for obviously being able to shoot a zombie, because you can't just like
Interesting.
shoot it behind you.
Right.
Although you can throw grenades behind you, you can't really shoot. So you have to like spend movement points to turn, and that is a little finicky because and then you also have to decide whether you're standing still, walking, or running, which affect your stats. And then you can only do certain actions while running, or certain actions while walking that aren't available when you're running. So like you can't move backwards while running, which makes sense. But so you have to kind of like decide what the best
Can you
option
vault
is.
while running?
You cannot vault, but you can move through a hindering terrain, which I guess is kind of like a vault. It just takes additional movement to do so. But you can't pass obstructed terrain. But and if you get like within, like, I'll just call it attack of opportunity because y'all know what I'm talking about. Of a zombie, it'll grab you, and you have to stop your movement. And you can stun zombies instead of killing them, which allows you to escape easier. And sometimes shooting them is better. You have to like actually manage ammo. And the way the ammo works is that you essentially have unlimited ammo unless you roll a 1 on your attack. If you roll a 1, you spend that ammo. And you only have 1 ammo, at least in the first couple of scenarios. And so that we've just been kind of using the knife primarily. The other thing I'll mention before I will quit talking about it is that it's a co-op game, 1 to 3 players. But at least for the first few scenarios, you only have 1 character to play.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's co-op in that you both get to decide what to do for the one character, which is a little lame. You'll
Yeah.
find other characters in the future, but if they die, they're just gone out of the
Yeah.
game. So you may get stuck with only 1 character with multiple players.
Interesting.
There's also a versus mode where one of you plays the military people, and then one of you plays the zombies. Did not read at all the rulebook on how that works, but that seems cool.
Yeah.
Tyler must have liked it enough. He was ordering it
Yeah, he was
after you
looking
left.
at it. Tyler was looking at buying that game. I sent him as well the other one because it's the same rules, just like different location and story. And
I
then
might do that
theoretically,
Viking one. Is it? Because it's a solo game, right?
solo up to 3 players, I think as well. But it's on GameFound. It's not I think live yet. The funding
Remember what
for
it's
it, but
called?
it is called Gates of Niflheim.
Niflheim.
Niflheim. Niflheim. But it's by Raybox Games. If you search for game found at Raybox Games, I'll just I'll throw it in the chat.
Sweet.
There we go. It's in Twitch chat. I'm gonna go back and watch our VOD.
There you go.
And then for other board games, I did a demo I went to Gen Con a couple weeks ago and did a demo of a shit ton of games, but primarily Madara. No, not Madara. Malifaux, which is another skirmish game, but instead of rolling dice like you would in Warhammer, you use a deck of cards. So there's your odds are different there, and the suit
I told him no
matters.
more skirmish games.
And then I proceeded to not listen to him whatsoever, and then bought some Malifaux. And I think that might be essentially it. That's worth mentioning.
So I
Friend.
think in December when we do our Game of the Year episode, 3 of us will talk about video games, and 1 of us will just do top 5 board games.
I legit don't know if I've played a new video game
Yeah,
this
I was
year.
gonna say.
I can't really think of one, to be totally honest. So yeah, there's a good chance,
Yeah.
unless I just go ham in the next couple months.
Right. Probably not though.
Probably not.
There's some
Probably
good shit
not.
coming out, but you never know. All right. So, Adam, we'll go to you next. What have you been playing?
Still been playing some Tears of the Kingdom on and off. Definitely need to play that because I haven't played that in weeks because your boy has gone back to Sea of Thieves.
Have you really? Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I have not played since launch.
So
And
yeah,
I've
I played for the first year and a half, 2 years, I think is what I played because I got Pirate Legend in the first year. Did a bunch of I've played since day one, like you, and then gave it up because I found Tarkov basically and played that for 3 years. And then there's a coworker at work. We were just like talking about Sea of Thieves, and I was like, man, I haven't played that in forever. And we started playing, and Cam as well, and that's like all I have played since getting back into it. It's so much fun.
very
I didn't
nice.
put
Cool.
that on my list because I forgot. I did do one session with you guys.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it still feels like the same. It's taken a little bit to get back used to it, but it's amazing. And they've added tons of content. I mean, they've done seasons apparently now, and they're on season 9. So it's I missed
Jesus.
all of that.
Right.
I mean, I feel like the last thing Kat and I were doing was the Sea Dogs, that was their PvP arena sort of game mode, and we played so much of that. That's
Nice.
all we did. And apparently that's gone, but they have this new thing called the Hourglass, which is like a 1v1 PvP thing where you're in a circle, and if you go out of the ring you're gone and dead. But man, it's been so much fun.
Sweet. Very cool.
It's been awesome.
Have you done the one-on-one?
Yeah, we have. The first 2 we just got creamed, and then just this last weekend we did a bunch and won a good amount of them actually.
Cool. Hell yeah.
But
So is
much
it
fun.
one
The
ship? So
PvP.
2v2?
I mean, it's 1v1. So, I mean, whatever ship and crew size you have, it matches you up with something the same.
Oh, okay.
So if you're a single player sloop, it's
One
single
ship
player
versus one
sloop.
ship.
Yeah.
I was thinking you meant one person on one person.
One crew versus one crew of equal size, I guess. So if you're a 4-person galleon, it'll be a 4-person galleon. It's just been awesome. It's we've had some really fun times already. There's been already just so many adventures. It's one of those games that you get out of it what you put in. If you're just trying to do certain things or whatever and grind out, I feel like it's kind of boring. But if you're just I've just no plans, let's see what happens tonight, that's when it's so much fun.
Hell yeah. Anything else?
No, that's that is my new Tarkov now. The
There you
Tarkov
go.
wipe happened just a few days ago, and I haven't played
Haven't
at
touched it.
all.
Wow. That's
I
crazy.
updated it and I got in and I accepted the first 2 tasks, and I'm nope, not doing this again.
Go
And
back to
I
Sea of
turned
Thieves.
it off.
Nice. Very
You've
cool.
had that before though, like right? Like you
Yeah,
maybe
I've
skipped
taken wipes off for
yeah.
sure. And it's just like this one they did an expansion to one map, streets, and like that's all they did. So it's like I don't know, it's not enough to
Yeah.
bring me back in at this point. When they bring out Arena, which is going to be like a 5v5 like squad sort of thing, I will definitely be getting back into that.
I'll
Oh,
go
yeah.
back for that.
Yeah, that's going to be so fucking cool.
Hell yeah. Cool.
But yeah, Sea of
All right.
Thieves, baby, going in
Sea of
hard.
Thieves. Very nice. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go next and have Justin go last because I'm very excited for what he's gonna talk about, and I want him to have the floor at the end. So I uh rolled credits on Final Fantasy 16. I liked it a lot. I will say, like this has happened in previous Final Fantasy games where really good story, loving all of it, and then the last 20% of the game it just falls off, and I don't know why they made the decisions they made. It was fucking weird. But I still very much love the game. It was very, very good. I was thinking about it. It's probably my fourth favorite Final Fantasy game I've ever played, so it's up there. It's really, really good. So
Nice.
the icon battles, holy shit! Like that's what made that game is when you transform into a summon and fuck shit up, and it's super awesome.
I remember watching
Um,
a video on that last time, but that was probably the episode that didn't air.
yeah, that could very well be. Yeah, but it was really good, man. Very, very good game. I very much enjoyed it. And then, because we're kind of in the calm before the storm right now, at least console wise, a bunch of shit's about to start coming out. So in preparation for that, I then replayed Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, just a refresh story. So I'm ready to go for Spider-Man 2. And then I just started replaying Alan Wake Remastered, so I'm gonna be ready for Alan Wake 2. So,
I've been
uh,
debating about doing that again too,
yeah,
just to get
the,
ready for that.
even I think I'm in like
And
chapter
then can like
3.
control as well, just to
Yeah,
like
Control. Yeah. I think I'm in chapter 3, and even there was like something I was like, oh, I forgot that happened. So it was definitely a good idea to go back through it again. But yeah, Alan Wake 2 is November. I think November is Alan Wake 2, so that's still a ways off yet, but it's
Is that
coming
coming
this
out
year.
on PC, I'm assuming?
I'm fairly certain. Yes, it should be. Yep.
I haven't played Alan Wake since the original release of it,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I remember very little.
Right.
Very
Right.
little. So I should
Yeah.
probably go back and play that as well.
There you go. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing. So, Final Fantasy 16 was a haul. That was a long ass game. But
Josh's
very
only
much.
video game on his Game of the Year is the original Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Alan Wake for the 360.
My 2023 game of the year. I like it. All right. So that wraps up me. Justin, you have the floor. Tell me about it.
Well, I'll get there
Okay, get the little stuff out of the way first.
without needing too much. Did play some Switch. My little sister and her boyfriend came and stayed with us, and so we played some Super Mario, and then we played some Mario Kart, and we
Oh, there you go.
played a lot of the Switch sports.
Hmm.
Oh,
And
there you go.
I always forget about that. Marissa and I played it really heavy when it came out. And after an hour of playing on Switch Sports, it's like, you've been playing for an hour. Do you want to take a break? And you can click no. Um, but I think the first time we got into volleyball on that thing came up like 5 or 6 times. And the next day we were both so sore, like it hurt to move. But yeah, that was fun. And then so did I talk about Stranded Alien Dawn?
It's been a month. I have no fucking idea.
So I won't spend a ton of time on it, but Stranded Alien Dawn is like a survival sim colony type game, and from things I've read online, it's very similar to RimWorld. If anyone played that, no, I haven't played RimWorld, but it's like a third-person top-down kind of, almost like an RTS, but you crash land and then you have to slowly build up your base and have your people do stuff. And I don't know, I was kind of hooked on that until Baldur's Gate came out.
So really quick before Baldur's Gate, is there like something going on in the background? You're getting some feedback from your mic.
Oh, it's his 3D printer.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, all right,
I paused it. Is that
okay,
better?
you're good. Yeah, you're good. Go ahead. This is what
Um,
I've been waiting for, so please go ahead.
well, it's tough because I don't know how much I should technically say, but I'll say
No
a lot of the.
stories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the game itself is pretty fucking fantastic. Um, just the amount of choices that you have and how you want to do it. It's like I've kind of committed roleplay wise to how I'm playing this character, but I've already envisioned another way and like just different things I want to try and see, and because I pretty much always take the same companions, um, just to keep going through their story, and the next time I would take different ones.
right.
Um, but like it's wild because they've added a ton since I played 2 years ago, the
Yeah, it
Early
was a
Alpha.
while ago.
Um, but like even the same type of stuff that I've gone through, like they've added new encounters, and like you can barely go 5 minutes without running into something, which is just crazy. And like just how you approach and who you come up to first in a random whatever can give you options that others don't. And I don't know, it's just bonkers. One time I was running and I heard something weird, like almost like a knocking or pounding on wood or something, like a rattle. Like what the fuck? So I looking around and I find a shed, and I open it, and this orc dude is banging a gigantic half ogre woman doggy style, and you interrupt them and start combat. But like you have different choices of what you can say to try to, I don't know, it's so, there's so many choices. It's debatably overwhelming, and that's why I just had to come to grips that I'll play again at some
Right.
point. But I've finished Act 1. I've been playing pretty much a good character.
A
Um,
Drist type character.
mm, Not that good,
Okay.
but yeah, it's amazing. Like the mechanics, the I was having trouble figuring out how to get somewhere, and then I accidentally right clicked. Well, when I right clicked a box, I realized you can climb on, because like you can't, if you
Oh,
try to just click on a box, you'll just open it. And found that out, and then realized that you can move and stack some boxes and then like climb on and get up places that I had never been before. And like just using the elements of the world, like Divinity had it a lot, but there's different barrels that have different materials in them, and you can pick up things, or there's an action to dip your weapon in. So like if there's fire on the ground and you want to dip your a bow in it, an arrow. I don't know. It's absolutely a phenomenal game.
so if you had to guess, how many hours in are you? I suppose you can probably look it up, but
But that would include the like
The-
pre-release.
Yeah.
oh, all right.
Um.
Give me your best ballpark guess.
Well, last played in, okay, so total is 60.3 hours, and last two
Damn.
weeks is 43.5.
Okay. So
God,
43 hours in. So you're 43 hours into this game and you finish Act 1.
Yes.
That's wild. That is wild. Oh my god, dude, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was saying if you want to get Starfield, I would just wait on this,
Yeah.
because this game, it's just not going anywhere. And
Yeah. Plus there's so many releases that coming out, I don't know if I can dedicate that much time to one game. Not that Starfield's going to be small, but I'm still not certain that that game's going to be that good. So we'll see. But
it might be
um
one that they fix over time.
right.
And
Right. Yeah. So well, I'm very glad you're enjoying it. That's honestly a game like I remember you talking about playing. Was it an alpha or a beta that you played? I think it was
I
an
don't even
alpha.
know.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah, I don't
long
even
ass
know.
It's
time
It's
two
ago.
been
hours
it's been a
ago.
while.
But I remember you saying it, you're like, "Oh my god, it's awesome." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I never even thought about it. And then even like trailers that have come out and stuff and like the hype for it, I'm like, "Yeah, it'll be fine." And then it released and I started reading some shit about it. I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to play this game."
Did
I'm
you see that developer who like was tweeting about how they were kind of annoyed that this game is setting unrealistic expectations about games that are coming out?
Yep, yep.
They're like, you can't expect, games to be this good, in the future. And it's like, you work for, like a AAA studio.
Yeah.
Like, you have
He's
a shit ton of money.
he's probably
Uh,
at Ubisoft, so
yeah.
It was funny though. I did read that the owner of Larian has been approached by like Microsoft and
Oh,
all
I'm
of the big
sure.
names, and he's like, "No, I'm old, but I'm not done yet. I don't want that
Hell yeah.
micromanaging. It's
Yeah.
mine." And I mean, I think he said one part that um, if you have a bigger owner like that, you may not be able to make some choices that you want to.
Mhm.
Like this game has it all.
Yeah, right. Right. I've heard or I've read some stuff about how I've had sex so many times in this game because I can never tell if people are just being nice to me or if they want to get it on.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be almost my only gripe, and I get it, but like pretty much all of the characters, at least your companions, are pretty flirty with you.
Yeah,
And I don't know, like it would be better if like it took time and
right.
like you were pursuing to some degree, but it's
Right.
almost like,
Nice to meet you. Let's bang.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Nice. Very cool.
So,
I'm what's that?
but I don't see the problem.
Yeah. I'm super excited to play it. But yeah, it's one I might hold on to for a while just cuz there's so much other shit coming out to play and that sounds
Well,
like it's going to Hmm?
hopefully they have I know they're doing cross play saves, but I don't know if you could do multiplayer crossplay.
Oh, right.
But that would be a fun one, like even once a month.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
not on this, but we find a night once a month that we just do an identity playthrough.
There you go. Fuck yeah.
Because
That'd be
like
cool.
I'm a predominantly a multiplayer person, as you guys know, but this one, like, I'm glad I'm doing it the first time solo. And then if I play with other people later, I don't really care what the choices are going to be. I'm not
Right, right.
invested like I am now.
Mhm.
But fuck, it's so good.
Cool. Very nice. Awesome. Looking forward to it. All right, that wraps up. What are we playing now? Uh, let's jump into the main topic. So I was trying to figure out what to do with this main topic, and then I read an article or something popped up on Twitter, and I clicked on the article. Well, I'll read the topic, and then I'll get into that. So the topic this week is where do you see the entertainment industry in 10 years? With video games being the highest valued market in entertainment at roughly $160 billion, with mobile gaming being a little over 50% of that, compared to movies at around 42 billion and music at 20 billion. How do you think people will consume content in the near and distant future? How will the continued rise of streaming affect all markets? So this kind of came from I had this article pop up on Twitter and I clicked on it, and I'm sure you guys have heard or read somewhere the movie industry, specifically movie theaters, are kind of in deep shit right now. Every one of them is struggling. All the big players, AMC and all that shit, they're all having a real tough time right now. And Fandango has a new option if you book through the theater using Fandango, where you can buy your tickets and then you can pay to block off the seats around you so nobody sits near you for 40 bucks a pop per seat. To
Damn.
yeah, to block them off. So if you don't want anybody sitting in front of you at the movie theater, you can block off the two seats in front of you and nobody can buy those seats.
How much is
Uh,
it for a normal seat?
I mean, I think it was like $20 or something like that. I'm
Why
not
wouldn't
sure.
you just get a bunch
Right.
of tickets
So
and then
that was
instead of the
that
$40?
was one of my questions. Yep. But I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." So they're trying stuff to get some extra revenue. I don't think it's working because I don't know anybody's gonna pay $40. I mean, some people will, I guess, but I mean, if you don't want anybody sitting next to you, you want to drop $40 on it to block off that seat, go for it. Um, but anyways, so then I kind of dove in more, and video games is just crushing movies, obviously, right now. Um, so I'm curious, and it's really been like a meteoric climb over the last 10 years, like skyrocketing past everything else. So I'm just kind of curious as to what your guys' thoughts are as far as the future goes. Josh, we'll go to you first. What do you think?
So 10 years is both an incredibly long time and an incredibly short amount of time all at once.
You're right.
Because if you think of, I don't know, just 10 years ago, like what video games were like then, it's pretty huge difference. But I kind of wonder to a certain extent if we're getting near like critical gaming, because I honestly don't think that like, I don't know, the performance of a PS5 over the PS5 Pro that
Right.
they're talking about
PS5
already
Slim. Yeah.
is gonna be like that big. I mean, um uh, there's like a point at which the graphics just get so good that we're talking about like marginally better things.
Dude, on
Uh,
that real quick, I was watching Instagram video on a motorcycle save, and this dude was falling, and it was like a motorcycle race, full leathers,
hmm,
and this dude like sees it and comes to a stop, but like does this um why like a brake? Why can't I think of it with a front wheelie?
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Where the
Um,
back wheel comes up.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he does that, and then like kind of moves and comes down and swerves, and I was like, oh, but then like his head clips through, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I rewatched it, and I was like, oh my god, this is a video game. It
It's
looked so
crazy.
real, I couldn't even fucking tell it was a video
Right.
game until the head clipped through the wheel.
Right. That's wild.
yeah, yeah. And like you know, we were talking about in Final Fantasy VII when that originally came out. Like, oh man, this looks so amazing. So maybe, I'm not even talking about the remake. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
original one, like in the
Right.
fucking polygons. Uh, so I mean, maybe there's like tons of more room for improvement, and we don't even know that that exists. But I feel like we're reaching a point where we're probably going to stagger for a little bit. And I kind of feel like some of the gaming market and some of the movie market and things like that are at a weird spot with like microtransactions and shit that's incredibly expensive. Like, do they really think that people are going to block off seats for $40 a pop? Do they really think that the vast majority of people want to buy horse armor for $40?
Yeah.
I mean, the only
Um,
people that's gonna do that are rich people.
Right. Yep.
yeah, and there are people who will do it, absolutely, but uh, at what cost? So I think we're gonna probably see a lot of the same over the next 10 years. We may see some sort of fast improvement in, I don't know, like VR technology, but honestly, where that's at right now, I don't know that the vast majority of people want or need VR. I think it's a novelty still. Um, and until they can get you in like a big ass hamster wheel to like run around in game, have you seen those
They
like
have those
that
now.
new? They have them, but they're like wildly impractical,
Yeah.
and
Right.
only certain games that are like made for the thing work. So like they exist, but do I expect to have one in my house in the next 10 years?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I imagine they're heavy as shit, and that'd be hard to store somewhere. So that just gets a room.
Right.
I mean, even
Its own
VR.
room.
I got too much shit in my house to use VR. Really, like
The
I'd have to
PlayStation one
move.
was kind of nice for that.
Yeah.
You didn't need as much
Uh.
space as you do with the Vive.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like with the Wii that used motion control, but you didn't really need all that much stuff unless you were gonna chuck that Wiimote through the TV or something.
Right. Right.
Um, but honestly, I don't expect a hell of a whole lot over the next 10 years. I do think that we're going to reach like a bottom level
Plateau.
with
Oh.
plateau just in general, but a bottom level with movie theaters,
Yeah.
and then I expect a resurgence because right now they're fucking expensive and they have kind of shitty service. So like, not to say that the people who work there are bad, but just like you get shitty food other than popcorn, and you get
Everything's
like a
expensive.
Yeah.
$13 beer now, and then you just said a movie ticket costs like $20 now.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, but going back to the Sea of Thieves here, but there are other ways to get that movie.
Yeah.
Um, but wait until it comes out on DVD.
Yeah,
Well, that's
that's
the
what you're
thing.
going for.
Exactly.
That's
You
what you're
can,
going for.
I mean, for that same price, you can buy it when it comes out. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I would
Right?
honestly rather watch it at home anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking earlier when I read this that okay, karaoke bars are not really a thing in the US for the most part, like in Asian countries like Korea and Japan, where you get like your own private room to do karaoke with your friends. They
They
exist,
have,
but
I've been to, I'm, I don't remember the name. It's almost like a Dave and Buster's type, but it's more like no kids. It's just strictly a bar, but they're big. But they've got like hoops and you can play like all sorts of games, but they have a couple karaoke rooms in the back.
nice, nice. But what if it was like a movie theater where there was like 4 chairs?
You rent out a room to watch
You
a
rent a
movie on a.
room to watch a
Yeah.
movie, and the screen was bigger than you have at your house, but there was like a million of these rooms
Right.
that you rented out, like you and your small group. Um, because wouldn't it? You can. My hometown, there is a tiny one room theater, and you can rent it for birthdays and like watch whatever you want on that, or hook up a GameCube and play Super Smash Bros. Melee. I know that from experience. And that shit was dope. Like I
Right.
would go to movie theaters if I could play a Smash tournament
Right.
on like the big screen. Uh, but that's not what theaters. I mean, that would cost you like $1,000 to do at like at like a real theater. Um,
It is about
so
that much. I remember looking it up when I worked at Best Buy because we were looking at
mm,
something to do for a company
corporate thing.
outing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
So
So we just ended up hooking up a bunch of stuff to the TVs in the home theater room and had the party at Best Buy.
There you go. There you
yeah,
go.
the hard part was like your movie selection would probably be shitty because they would like partner with some
Yeah.
company to do their thing. It's only Netflix movies or whatever. And then I mean, I got my TV's not that big, but you can buy big ass TVs for your house now. So like, how big is big enough? How many features is good enough? But I feel like we're gonna reach a point where it's so low that it becomes like a thing again because they're gonna be like, hey, it's like $5. Please
Yeah.
God, just give
Please
us your
come.
money.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we're gonna just play Godfather 2 on repeat for
Yeah.
9 hours. Like, just show up and watch The Godfather 2. We know you love
Yeah.
that movie.
Right.
Come on down.
Right.
Uh, so I think they expect too much out of theaters, and there's just better options currently.
Yeah. For sure. Adam, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, theaters are trash. I agree. I mean, they are like G's point. They're overpriced and they're obnoxious. Like, why wouldn't you just do it at home? And I'm sure
Yep.
COVID has changed tons of that
Mm-hmm.
mentality. And like, I'm sure they struggled so much from that, and they've just never really bounced back. That has to play into the equation a little bit. But besides movie theaters, yeah, games have been the number one entertainment for a long time now. That's
Yeah.
not even like a recent sort of thing. And I mean, what it's going to be like in 10 years, hard to say. I mean, VR was definitely something that I thought about because it's got to be something that's going to be more mainstream, and it is getting slowly, the technology is getting better, but the only way it's ever going to get like super mainstream is it has to be as easy as turning on a TV. So you got
Right.
to be able to like put something on and just like go. That's the only
That's
way
what I
it's
was
ever
gonna
going to,
say.
the only way it's ever going to become like
Until
mainstream.
it's like glasses that
Hmm.
I don't know
You
can
just turn
like
on
block
and you
out.
go right in like a smart TV or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. That's the only way it's ever going to be like really accepted. Um, but yeah, I
I
mean, what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do think that at some point the video game industry is gonna hit that kind of even off, right? It's
I
going to
feel like
happen.
we're getting there already to an
Yes,
extent.
because I think the biggest thing, like if I dove in, and we're not going to talk at length about this because we've already talked at length forever, but the FTC Activision Blizzard merger thing, like a bunch of stuff got unsealed in court documents that probably wasn't supposed to get unsealed, including the costs of developing AAA games. So Sony had a document unsealed showing that The Last of Us Part 2 cost them $130 million to make. And I was like, damn, that's like movie budget. Like it's up there. And I feel like those are only going to keep increasing as games get bigger and bigger and the graphics are better and better and all this stuff.
I don't
Um,
necessarily think that's true though.
for AAA, I think it's true for AAA, not for like AA and stuff like that.
I mean, I feel like the people developing them can start charging more,
Yeah.
but ultimately, I don't think what it takes to make them is necessarily getting more expensive outside of inflation.
And then also I think time to develop too. Like you look at some of these games that uh like Horizon Zero Dawn, they said was about $130 million too. So I think
Okay.
the length that it takes to develop a game is also becoming longer as they become much more intricate.
I feel like the programs that they use are becoming more intuitive and easier to use. You build up your asset libraries. Like I feel like they can pump out a game easier than it used to be. I mean, I don't know if you've messed
Well,
around with some of the Unreal like new engines. Like
Fuck no.
one can make a game fairly fucking easy actually these days.
Well,
but
making a
but
game and
but if
making
you're
a
like
good game
hand
is
tuning,
two
yeah,
different things.
that's
yeah,
fair.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still think that the tools that they have to make them, I feel like are becoming easier. They just have to make a good game, which that
Well,
takes
And
someone's really good storytelling and brain to come up with something creative and new.
yeah.
I was
that's
just gonna say real quick on that. You also think about average um, developer salary, and a lot of these companies have a lot of developers, and then you think about a project taking 8 years. That right there can shoot you up millions
That's
fast.
kind of like a great example of that is Cyberpunk. Like, look how long that game took to develop. Look at how many times they delayed it. They went over budget numerous times and eventually had to release a product that wasn't done. So I think Cyberpunk is a really good example of what you just said, and that's not the only developer that's ran into that. Obviously, there's plenty of other examples, but
yeah,
yeah,
and I don't think that there's a shortage of new games. There's a shortage. Well, I don't know if it's even called a shortage, but it's it's of good games. Because
yes,
there is garbage hitting Steam
Sure. Every day.
constantly,
Yeah.
constantly, and so like the tools are getting better, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the developers are getting any better to a certain
right,
extent. And but we do see some consolidation in the industry. You
hmm
know, going back to whatever the developers who made Baldur's Gate that I've already forgotten the name of, Larian.
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
uh, you know, they could easily just get bought out. You know, had the person said yes, and then Ubisoft makes a generic D&D
yes,
game
right,
with open world. Um, and some would argue, like Microsoft or Sony or whatever buying these indie studios is better for them, but not necessarily. So, Adam, to your point, I think the tools are getting significantly better, but have we hit peak? The people who make good games
Mm-hmm.
are making them already.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
how much better are they going to get over the next 10 years
Right.
versus what we've got already?
And I feel like we've just seen the rise of remakes and all that sort of stuff as well. Like
Cash grabs,
constantly,
yeah.
it's just like when, and it's those original IPs that come out of left field. Those are the ones that actually do well.
Right.
Like Elden Ring. I feel like Liza P is going to be right there behind it.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
ones that are willing to like try these weird, bizarre things, I feel like are good.
And
But
then
they're the
even
ones that just keep trying to do the remakes and the stuff. Like obviously you're going to get the nostalgia hit and the niche markets of that, but like it's not going to be like a giant success overall.
and to your point too, like even if you get away from AAA, look at Devolver Digital.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's
holy
tons of
shit.
like one man shops that come out of
Yeah.
like left field with like holy shit,
And
like
they're
a Stardew is a
fantastic
perfect
games.
example.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just like who knew we needed this, but one man came out of nowhere and did everything, and it's
Right.
To be
amazing.
fair, Devolver does have a lot of trash games too.
Of course they do.
They put out
Yeah.
a lot of good ones, but I've played
Yes.
some that are like, eesh.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're not perfect. Nobody. I don't think they're not Ubisoft bad. I'll stop shitting on Ubisoft.
No, you won't.
Justin.
No, you
No,
won't.
it's fine. We can say
Just-
EA. It's fine.
yeah, there you go. That works too. Justin,
Uh,
I think I skipped you. What did you have, Dad?
well, I was just gonna say when we were talking about the VR and they're just turning it on, and now you look at the different TVs that are coming out with Xbox, like you don't even have to buy a console, you can just stream it. When we get to the point where like the TVs are capable of 3D VR and just being a regular TV all in one, I think that will change the game for both video games because the only thing I could think of for the main topic, at least for the gaming industry, is we haven't got a like Spider-Man. I think is we've got some games with good movement, cool movement, but until they can like master, flying and make it feel either if your controllers are haptic or however they do it. Like I think that in VR is sort of the only. They just need something new
Right.
otherwise. Or like we were talking about that um was it Wrong Turn?
Oh, Wrong Turn 2.
Yeah.
The movie.
But like brand new ideas or like just something game changing like
No,
Cabin
no,
in the
the
Woods.
Cabin in the
Cabin in
Woods
the
is
Woods. Yeah, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wrong Turn
Yeah.
2 is the one with Henry Rollins in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just it's. I think whatever the next big thing in gaming is going to be, we haven't even thought of it. Like
Yeah,
we as in
agreed.
the four of us haven't even thought of it yet. But
We didn't realize we needed, but then we're like, holy shit, how did we live without this?
right.
Actually, I think one of us called it. They just didn't realize it. Virtual Boy 2.
I was just about to say that, dude. I was just about to say that.
I
We
just
didn't
said
know
new
we needed it,
predicted
concepts.
but
it.
That's not a new concept.
Adam predicted it years and years ago. Every year he's predicting it. One of these years it's going to come true.
Let's be real. We need smell-o-vision to come back.
Oh, Jesus, no. Oh, God. All right. That'll wrap up the topic. We're going to go long if we move on. Do we have a conspiracy theory, Justin?
Time for conspiracy theory?
Conspiracy theory. We need to have aluminum hats to put on,
Yeah, there you
like
go.
during this.
I don't think it would fit with my headset. But we'll
It
figure
works.
something
Just
out. Hello.
hello.
Meow.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear him?
Not really.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, he's printing stuff and I can't hear well.
That's fine.
Ah.
What an
He didn't pause
inconsiderate
it.
prick.
I paused it for a little bit.
All right,
Don't
go ahead.
cheat.
My eyes are closed.
Okay. Conspiracists say that Rudolph Fens, a man killed in a traffic accident in 1950, was what? A. A reptilian from Alpha Centauri. B. A time traveler from 1876. C. A crisis actor. Or D. A leading member of the Illuminati.
One B,
Cool.
time
Bravo.
traveler.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
B. My heart said time traveler before she even said anything, so I'm going B.
Everybody's
three of
going
us
B.
B.
Fuck that. I'm going A. Reptilian.
I wish he was a reptilian time traveler.
Oh,
I know the story.
do
Hey.
you really?
Yeah.
B was
Thank
my
you,
like
Marissa.
second guess. This is the
Thank
Illuminati
you.
thing, but time travelers where my heart was at.
Hell yeah. Maybe it was a reptilian time traveler, and we were all right, huh?
No.
That's fair. I was wrong. All right. Let's move on to our draft. I honest to God have no idea whose turn it is, so I just said it was Justin's. So, Justin, what is the draft topic?
Action movie characters that are good guys only,
Okay.
and a main character, or could be like his partner or like a
Side character.
side character.
Okay.
But any genre.
4, 3? I always
Three.
forget how many. 3. Okay, thank you.
But like it could be a horror action or comedy action, as long as action is part of it.
Okay.
Counts.
And I believe I don't remember the order. I know Josh goes last because he did it last week. I don't know. Did anybody remember to do I or Adam go after Justin?
You should roll in the roll room.
All right, let's do it. I can't believe
What
we're
are we
doing
rolling? A
this.
20? Or what are we
Yeah,
rolling?
D20. D20. Yeah, it's a classic.
12.
I mean, that is a success as far
14.
as basis is
All right.
concerned.
Oh, okay. So Adam will go after Justin, and then myself, and then Josh. Justin, number 1 overall pick. Who's your top action hero?
John Wick.
Okay, that was on my list. I knew
Same.
that was coming at some
Nice.
point.
I had to get that one out because the other ones I don't know that anyone will guess.
I feel like we're gonna have a lot in common. I just have a feeling. I could be wrong, but I don't know. We'll see. John Wick, solid choice. That was on my list for sure.
All right, Adam.
A different John McClane.
Fuck, that was on my list too.
Motherfucker will stomp through glass and still come out on top. So you know what?
Die Hard, baby, the best Christmas movie. The
Yeah.
best
Fact.
Christmas movie.
Yes, sir.
All right, well that's 2. Now I'm worried. I only picked 8, and now 2 might have gone already. We just started. So that's a solid choice. I'm gonna go with. I respect your guys' choices. I want to put that out there. They were both on my list, but none of y'all picked the GOAT, and the GOAT is James Bond. Obviously, it's James Bond.
Also on my
That's a
list.
good one.
Which
Yeah.
James Bond though specifically?
It's
Because
the character
there
that
is like
counts us all.
16.
You know,
So remind me on this, but my pick of the week has a call out to James Bond
James
in this
Bond,
very
okay, cool.
topic.
Very nice. All right. Yeah, James Bond, in my opinion, is the fucking
If
GOAT.
you had to pick a
Yeah,
specific James
I
Bond,
feel like
though,
you need to pick
Okay,
which.
not that you. I'm not saying he has to, but if he had to,
Okay, this might be a little controversial
Get ready with the Trump wrong.
because I feel like everybody goes Connery, right? Everybody goes Connery.
because it's the correct.
Because it's the
answer.
correct
I
answer. Yeah, exactly.
Fucking love Daniel Craig as James Bond.
I do love Daniel
That's
Craig.
fair.
Love Daniel Craig as James Bond.
He's a good second. Third. Third.
I
Third?
like Pierce Brosnan.
I was
Me
gonna
too.
say
as
I'd
well.
give it to Pierce.
Pierce
Honestly,
is
over.
my top.
Sean
Yeah.
Connery is like a
Sean
great
Connery.
pick because Sean Connery's just
Sean Connery.
great.
He set
But-
the bar.
Sean Connery.
But Pierce Brosnan is who I think of when I think of James Bond. Like
Okay,
Same.
fair. Is that because of
legitimately,
your childhood, though?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
maybe.
It's definitely what started my
Right.
thought there, but anytime I watched him,
What would
I
you guys have
love-
done? What would you guys have done if I said Roger Moore?
I would have said
I would
who?
have laughed at you. I mean, he's like the comical Bond anyway.
He's like the George Clooney Batman. All right.
We never saw his nipples, at least. But...
Yeah.
I mean, did he
alright.
not have
Actually,
a
we
shirtless
probably
scene?
did.
Yeah,
Now that I think
we
we
did.
probably did. Actually, now that
Yeah.
I think about it.
Okay. Now Josh, go ahead.
Ellen Ripley from Alien.
Oh, that's another one off my list. I'm
Uh,
screwed.
Wow.
and Aliens,
Didn't even
you
think about
know?
that one.
Ripley is such a fucking badass.
Dude, fuck
Uh,
yeah.
Do
Goddamn good
do we
choice.
do Snake Order? I don't remember.
No, it goes back to Justin.
Lame.
Ripley's a
So the
goddamn good
next
choice.
one, I'm not gonna pick, just so that I don't screw your list. But I'm gonna go Detective James Carter,
James
James
Carter.
Carter.
Rush Hour.
Oh my
Oh, nice.
god.
Was not expecting that at all.
I was not
I-
either.
I got scared. Jimmy Carter's on my
Yeah.
list here, but not James.
Oh shit. All right.
I've watched the
Solid
first
choice.
Rush Hour so much in my
Yeah,
childhood
you have.
that
Yes.
iconic for me.
Very nice. Okay. I was not expecting that choice, but kudos for going outside the box on that one.
Well, I wanted to
Um,
leave some of the others open.
There you go. That's fair because I'm running out. All right, Adam.
So this is one that was going from my childhood, but Indiana Jones.
God damn it!
Harrison Ford. Honestly,
Also
anything
my list.
Harrison Ford did is like amazing, but Indiana Jones, like Last Crusade, I watched that like a million times on VHS till it like broke. So yeah, he's amazing. Indiana
I had
Jones.
only the Temple of Doom on
Just
VHS.
that one.
Just that one.
Yeah.
And I
I
watched
just have
the
the
Also a
shit out of
great
that
Crystal
one.
Skull.
So
Uh,
I
good.
only have the Crystal Skull.
Oh,
I've
that
never,
movie doesn't
I've never
exist.
seen that
That
one.
movie doesn't exist.
turn,
That's not a
turns
movie.
out turns out the Crystal Skull was the skull of Jar Jar Binks, the Gungan from Episode 1.
Has the new one come out? Has anyone seen the new
I have
one?
not seen it. It's
No.
out.
Neither have I.
New
Like I
what?
still feel like the first three are the
Huh?
best.
There's a new
So
Indiana Jones movie.
there's a fifth one that just came out.
Yeah.
Huh.
But
Oh.
yeah, I
Original
haven't seen it.
actors?
Harrison Ford's in it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
God,
Harrison Ford is in it.
how does
Hopefully
he?
Short Round makes an appearance, but I doubt it.
Oh, I heard that as well. He's like older now or
Oh,
something in
he
it.
makes an appearance?
I
That would be
thought
awesome.
so.
I
Maybe
mean, he
maybe I'm crazy.
was in he was one of the
Everything
main
He's in
Everywhere
something
characters.
all at once.
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's such a good movie.
And he's fantastic in
Oh,
that movie. I
awesome.
mean, that movie is perfect in every way.
Yeah,
But
he won an Academy Award for it. Fuck yeah.
so wouldn't surprise me if he made an appearance.
All right. I only have 3 options, so if y'all take 2 more of them, I'm fucked.
Come on, Josh.
I'm gonna
no.
go. So my second choice, I'm going John Rambo. How do you not put Rambo on your list? It's fucking Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo's on my list. Damn it.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I knew we were gonna have a lot in common. We'll see how this goes.
This is why I picked 12. This is why
Fuck.
I wrote 12 down.
All right. Well, I gotta dodge 3 bullets here. Don't pick 2 of my last 2. John Rambo's on my second pick. Go ahead, Josh.
So there's one that's obviously going to be on your list. So I feel like I should have to take that one now just to screw you over.
What is it?
But instead, I'm going to pick the one that you're not expecting, which is McGreedy from The Thing.
Oh, okay.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, so I have to include it. If you've not seen the like 80s The Thing, it is such a fabulous horror movie. And he's great in it.
Okay, very nice. All right, cool pick. I'm kind of worried that you think I should have thought of a name and I didn't, just based off what you just said. So we'll see when we
Well,
get there.
there's an obvious one here that
Is
we
there?
have yet to include. I mean,
I'm
there's
about to.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Justin.
Blade.
Oh,
that is
Ooh.
not
that
on
is
my
not
list,
it.
but
I didn't even
that's
think
the thing.
about that one. That's
I
a
didn't
good
either.
one. That's a
Totally-
very good one.
Totally left out Blade.
Oh,
Very
Wesley
nice.
Snipes.
Yep, Blade.
Very nice. Good
Yeah.
choice. Adam, I dodged a bullet. We're good. I still got 2 left, so even if Adam takes one.
Beatrix Kiddo. Kill Bill.
Oh, interesting.
Pete and I watched the shit out of that movie. Like
Hell yeah.
every day we watched Kill Bill. Like it is such a good movie.
Fuck yeah.
And she fucks shit up.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Amazing action character.
Fuck yeah. Good choice. Damn good
I don't know if
choice.
I'd consider her necessarily a good guy though. She's it's a gray area with a revenge story and
Well,
everything.
yeah, it's a
but
revenge story. Yeah, that's fair.
I'd still consider her a good guy in that. So
Okay, I'm going with my final pick. I'm going Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne. Specifically, I didn't watch the shitty one with Jeremy Renner, so only the one with Matt Damon. I don't know if Jeremy Renner plays Jason Bourne or another agent. I never saw the movie, but Matt Damon's Jason Bourne is my final choice. Josh, what's your last one?
I'm gonna go with the one that I thought was an obvious choice, which is the Terminator.
Yeah, that's fair.
That I mean, if you're talking about classic action movies, the Terminator is like the goat. So,
I still
you know.
think James Bond is the GOAT. I think you're wrong.
See, the reason I would put Terminator before James Bond is that it's better. It's a better choice, you know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Now that you mentioned it,
That's the only reason, you know. It just edges out the list in just because of that.
fair enough.
Do you want to hear the other ones that were not included?
I'd say
Yeah,
I had a
on my
runner
list?
up.
I had
I
one runner
wanted
up
to
too. What
say
else? Josh, what else do you have?
I had Brian Mills from Taken.
Yeah, good choice.
Super good. Tien from Ong Bak.
Whoa, there you go.
That movie is fabulous.
I haven't seen those in so long. Tony
Jaa or
Jaa.
whatever.
Yeah, he's so good.
Ip Man from Ip Man.
So good.
That movie is fabulous as well. And then Frank Dux from Bloodsport.
Oh, there you go.
What
There you go.
what is his name? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Commando. That's what I was thinking of.
Was that yours, Adam? Your runner up?
No, my
Oh,
runner up was actually Snake Plissken.
ooh, nice. Good choice.
Kurt Russell. I love those
Yeah.
escape movies. Escape
There
from
you go.
LA and Escape from New York. So fucking good.
I
Ryan.
forgot about those.
Christopher
so good.
DuBois.
The Quest.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, dude. How many times do we watch that goddamn movie, kids?
a lot.
A lot.
I'm trying to think what the other. Sorry, go ahead.
Jean-Claude Van Damme in a tournament movie. He represents the United States in a tournament.
Yep.
And who's he playing? Who's he facing in the finals? Mongolia?
Tournament is
Isn't it
martial
Mongolia?
arts, obviously.
Yes, clearly.
Chess.
Yeah.
That'd be great. She's like,
It's a knitting tournament.
Yeah, there you
really.
go.
What about those
Yeah.
like have you seen those like horses that you can ride on, like the little wooden horses?
Oh,
That's
yes.
apparently that's a pageantry thing, like competition. I just found out about this like a month
Interesting.
ago.
I can't
wanna
remember
see
what they
him do it.
call that, but yeah,
Like
they,
wooden horses with like a little dowel in the head, and they do like little dances. It's ridiculous. It's a European thing.
Nice.
Universal Soldier. I also watched a lot
Ooh,
as
there
a
you go.
kid.
Hell yeah.
And I probably shouldn't have at that age because that was a bloody one. But
You
loved
know
that
what?
movie.
That just brought back a memory. You know what else we could put on this list?
The Guyver.
Guyver. Not
Guyver was good.
MacGyver. Everybody gets confused with
Guyver.
MacGyver. No,
Yeah.
Guyver. Oh,
The
fuck that.
Guyver.
Anime
That's
is so much
crazy.
better. What? Go find the
I
anime.
believe it.
It's
I
so
believe
good.
it. I mean, in retrospect, the movie's terrible.
Yeah, I tried to watch it again, and
Did you really?
I mean, this was like 10 years ago, but
Yeah,
Mark Hamill, baby.
right. Do you know what else we could have put on here? Now that we're talking about nostalgic movies, I think Colt from the Three Ninjas, or Tum Tum, or Rocky from the Three Ninjas could have been on this list.
Rocky from Rocky.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably be on the list as well.
Still not an action movie. I don't think.
The others
Rocky
that
action
Like an
movie.
underdog boxing movie.
Yeah.
It's not an action
Is
movie.
boxing not action?
I feel like there's
The
got to be
others-
guns and explosions involved for it to be an action
No.
I mean,
movie.
he's right. Boxing is an action. So, by that theory, if you have a movie what was that one with Jake Gyllenhaal, fairly recent, where he's the 911 operator?
Oh, I watched that.
I forgot what it's called. But anyways, the whole movie takes place with him on the phone in the 911 operator room, and he's typing. So technically, typing is an action. So by Josh's logic, that is an action movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see no problem with his logic. It makes perfect sense.
There you
The
go.
others on my list, though, real quick, I had Neo. That's one I didn't
Yep.
say.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
I figured
Yeah,
one
for
of
sure.
you, I
He
didn't
was
want
on
to
there.
take it. Maximus,
From Gladiator. Fuck
Gladiator.
yeah.
Mm.
Mm,
And then the last one was John Creasy,
John Creasy.
From
Man on
Cobra Kai
Fire.
and like Karate Kid.
Oh,
No,
nice.
Man on
John
Fire.
Kreese is what I was thinking
Fuck
of
yeah.
from Karate
I
Kid.
haven't seen Man on Fire in a hot minute. That movie's so
Denzel
good.
Washington, right?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Dude, you know the Equalizer 3 is coming out soon?
Yeah, I saw
Mhm.
that. He
God
said it's
damn, I
going to be
didn't
the
know.
last one, though.
Yeah, probably.
He's
He'll
like
probably die in
70.
it. I know. Um,
He'll still
anyways,
kick all of our asses.
no shit. The only other person I had for my list was Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. That was it. But
That was one I thought about, but figured it'd get taken.
I kind of assumed it would be on your list because we were just talking about Mission Impossible like Saturday or something.
Yeah.
all right. We're running a little bit late, so we'll do a quick pick of the week, and then we will get out of here. Justin, you want to get yours out of the way?
Yeah, The Outlaws.
Oh, I thought you were
So
going Baldur's Gate 3. But anyways,
Right, that's what I
continue.
was thinking.
Yeah.
You too.
I already talked about it a bunch,
All right.
but my sister and her boyfriend came, and we decided to watch a movie at the end of the night. And so we watched The Outlaws, and I'll post the IMDb here for you guys. It's got Adam Devine, but it also has Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, saw the
Yeah.
poster
Okay.
of it, like the white,
Yeah.
and there's 4 of them. Yeah, I've seen the poster of it.
Yeah, and at one point there's a spot where I think Adam Devine's like, "You look like," or something about like he's like James Bond, and they're like talking, and then at one point like this is all quick wit thing, but they're like, "Who's your favorite James Bond?" And then his wife in the movies says like number 4, obviously, or whichever one he was. I don't know. It's just a funny throwback to that, but parts of it made me regret I was watching with my little sister, but
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
it was really funny, I thought.
Very nice. Cool. Let's go, Adam. Pick of the week.
If you have Game Pass, download Sea of Thieves. It is on Game Pass.
There you
Do
go.
it now. Have fun. Hopefully don't get motion sickness from water, because the water physics in that game are amazing.
Yeah. Dude, I remember that. I remember booting that up for the first time and be like, oh my God, the water looks incredible.
It's
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
beautiful.
The game is just phenomenal. We actually just this Saturday, we were we didn't know what to do, so we were doing these like really old commendations. But there's ones like sit at the highest peak of like this area of the map at sunset, or sit over here at the highest peak at like in sunrise, and like we just kind of went around the map and did these, and it's a fucking gorgeous game.
No,
It's
yeah,
just beautiful.
It is very good. Very, very good. All right, Josh.
Mine is a tabletop game that I don't think I mentioned. Point Salad.
Not what I was thinking.
I bought this like a million years ago because it was on a list of like good games you could bring to a bar, like play at a table with
Yeah.
someone. It's incredibly simple, and it hurts my brain because it has like an obscene amount of depth for how easy it is. Essentially, you can pick from either cards that give you points or different vegetables that you do collections to get those points.
Okay.
And so you pick, and then you flip over the deck. So you're constantly swapping out cards. So you're like trying to think in turns ahead, and you're like, okay, well, the other person, they picked up the I need the most lettuce. So now I just have to pick up the lettuce, even though I don't fucking need the lettuce. just so that I'm tied for lettuces so that they don't get those points. And then you're like trying to remember, okay, like what points do I have? What points do they have? And then you're like trying to work out. Sometimes you're like collecting vegetables that you don't need yet because you're like praying that some card will come up where you need those. But super simple. It says games take 15 to 30 minutes. Like 15 if you're playing 2-player, it's 30 minutes if you're playing 6-player. But super simple, very fun.
Cool. Awesome. Um, never. I don't know. Every board game you said, that was the last thing I would have imagined. So like earlier in this episode, you talked about a game where you had to spend movement points to turn your character. It was so in
I
depth.
I love giant, crunchy, complicated board
Yeah,
games, but I also love board games that I can actually get other people to play. Because all of the other ones, it is a feat.
that's fair.
So
That's
this
fair.
is this is a game I can have my family play.
Nice. All right. Mine is a book called The Shadow of What Was Lost. It's book one of the Lycanius trilogy. Um, I actually am not finished with it yet. I have about 60 pages left. I'm hoping to finish it before bed tonight. Um, really good. Like it's a doorstop fantasy. Just keep that in mind if you are gonna read it.
I don't know
It's
what that
hefty.
means.
It's hefty. You can use it as a
Oh,
doorstop. The book is so big.
Mm.
gotcha.
Um, so yeah.
725 pages.
What's that?
How many?
725
Yeah.
pages.
Yeah, it's hefty. So, but at first I didn't think I was gonna like it because the beginning of the book is the Fellowship of the Ring, like almost point for point at parts, like to the point where the two main characters are, or two of the main characters that you meet more later on, are essentially Frodo and Sam. And at one point, they're in a tavern. They have to escape their home village. They're in a tavern, and a mysterious stranger in the shadows saves their life when they're attacked. Like, okay, all
His
right, there's
name is
Aragorn.
Aragorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then it deviates pretty heavily after that, and it gets pretty fucking crazy. Like time travel, and there's some crazy shit in it. So, I very much am enjoying it, and I can't wait to read the other two books in the trilogy. So, Lacanius trilogy, book one is my choice. All right, boys, that wraps up episode 135. Um, we will, like I mentioned earlier, be missing next week because half the team is gone next week. So we will pick back up with another episode of Nerds in Space after that.
The other half might stream something.
Yeah, if
You
you guys
never
want to
know.
stream something, go for it. There you go. Never know. Might be some surprise Nerdentity Crisis content next week.
Only on Twitch,
Maybe,
though.
yeah, or maybe just Justin and Josh could do a fireside chat, just the two of them. You could get a glass
Just
of
play something.
I
and a
I
pipe.
have
Is that an option?
I have
Shit.
scotch. I have scotch and I
Yeah,
have firewood.
there you
So
go.
I'll just set up a camera out in my yard. It's been
There you go.
it's been raining here, so I
Yeah.
won't start a forest fire. Hopefully,
But yes, so we will be off normal stuff next week, but we'll be back the week after for Nerds in Space. Um, and then we'll go from there. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We very much appreciate it. Everybody have a wonderful night. Bye.
goodbye.